Hello and welcome to Yes, You Are Brave. This is a podcast where we are going to set off on a journey together to find and build our brave, where we explore all the ways that you have been brave and all the ways that you can be brave again. Because even though we may have forgotten or we may have fallen out of practice, we're all brave. And I'm on a mission to prove it and help you believe that yes, you are brave. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Yes, You Are Brave. I'm Pawnee, I'm your host. Super duper excited you are here. Guys, this is episode 80. Can you believe it? Episode 80. I am so excited for a couple of different reasons. One, that we are here, that we have showed up all of this time and kept doing this thing. It's amazing. Also, I love eights. It's just a thing. And I'm so excited to talk about what we have to talk about today. So today, without further ado, we're going to jump right into the brave. And today we're going to talk about being brave enough to own your awesome. Brave enough to own your awesome. How awesome you are. Let's jump in. So the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I was recently at a fireside with Elder Renlund, who is a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, who is kind of very high up in the government of the church. He's an apostle, we believe, all these things. Anyway, it was an amazing meeting, and in it he talked about having one of the ways to help women feel better about themselves and help women face the challenges was to help them see themselves like Christ saw them. And so it was something that I have heard so many times throughout my life, but this time it hit particularly hard and close to home. And he gave some examples from the scriptures where he actually quoted the scriptures where it says, and Jesus saw her. And there was 5 or 6 different instances that he actually quoted. And I thought it was so amazing. It just, all of a sudden it was wait a minute, how would the Savior see me? And so I think that as people, it's very, very common, very, very easy for us to just look at ourselves through what we can see and what we feel a lot of times. And I've said it before that feelings aren't facts. And so sometimes when we look at ourselves through the lens of how we feel, that can be really, really tricky. And it can give us a skewed view of how things actually are and what we're actually accomplishing. So I loved that idea of thinking about how would the Savior be seeing me? And I also had the impression this weekend through that meeting and another one on Sunday, was talking about stop thinking about yourself as ordinary, right? Stop thinking of yourself as just some so-and-so from somewhere, okay? You're not just some random person from some random place. I mean, technically you are, but you know what? You're awesome and you've got some amazing gifts and talents and things that you have to offer the world. And it's time that you step up, my dear, and own those things. And I know that can seem really hard and can seem really daunting. There's also, I think, this weird mentality that if we try to do that, if we try to step up and own our skills and our talents, that somehow we're being prideful, or maybe we're being self-centered, or maybe we are being just self-involved and we're arrogant, or whatever it is. There's a million different reasons that seem like good reasons, noble reasons to not step up into our awesome selves. And I want to call BS on all of those. It's not selfish. It's not being arrogant. It's not being prideful for you to step up and be this is what I'm good at and this is what I have to offer the world. It's not a bad thing to step up and own who you are and what you can do and then how you can help people. You think about some of the world's most talented people, and I'm not just talking about I know one of the things that comes to mind is artists and maybe athletes and those people that we see, and we see their skills, right? It's very big, it's very loud, it's very obvious, right? You see a big, beautiful painting on the wall, or you see a sculpture, or you watch an incredible game of whatever it is, you see the skill of the athletes. I'm not just talking about those, although those are amazing and those are wonderful, but what about the other skills that we don't always see? What about the mechanic that can fix your car and keep it running for another 5 years when if it had been up to you, you would have called it quits forever ago? What about the doctor that can remove that tumor from somebody's brain and they can still have a good life after that? What about those people that are not as big and loud in what they can do and what they can accomplish, but it is just as important and it is just as amazing? What if those doctors hadn't stepped up and said, you know what, I'm really good at this? What if those people hadn't stepped up and be like, you know what, I'm really amazing. I've got this mechanical mind and I can think about, how things are supposed to work and I can see the picture and I can fix it. And that seems really small and really simple, but there's all of these people in the world that are stepping up to their awesome. And just because their awesome is different from yours does not mean that it's any less than yours or any more than yours. It's just different. We can't all be mechanics. We can't all be surgeons. We can't all be massage therapists that make people feel better. But we all have talents and we all have things that we can do and we can contribute to the world and that we should contribute to the world. Because when we say, you know what, I'm actually really good at this thing and I'm going to step up and I'm going to help people with this thing that I can do, guess what? Magic happens. Absolute freaking magic happens. When you step up and you own your awesome and you say, this is the talent that I have, let me help you through this thing. And like I said, there are so many things, it would be ridiculous to even try to mention them, but there are so many things. Kind of makes me think of things like, I don't know, I kind of think of these kind of random things that people were just trying to use their talents, right? People that, they start things like art therapy, or they have things like equine therapy, which is probably just somebody trying to help somebody that they loved and they didn't have any other. That's the skills that they had, I know people personally in my life that would give lots of credit to being able to ride horses with people that they loved as helping them through some of the hardest times of their life. I also know of other people that, they go somewhere and they just do what they can. There was a couple in my from my hometown that it was back when I was in high school. They decided to serve a mission as a senior couple for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And when you serve a mission as a senior couple, there's a little bit more, you kind of have a little bit more say in it. But they decided that they would go wherever it was, they didn't have any restrictions. Well, they ended up getting called to Africa. And I want to say that they were in South Africa, but I'm not 100% sure. And so they got there, and it took them a while to get there. There was some issues with visas or something. So, but it took them a couple of months to actually get there after they had officially started. And they got there and they went and talked to their mission president, who's the person over, or the mission leader, I guess is what they're called now, over the mission, right? And they said, okay, what do you want us to do? How do you want us to serve? And he said, oh, you'll figure it out. And they're like, what do you mean we'll figure it out? He's like, oh no, you'll figure it out. It's okay. Just, you'll figure it out. And so they were a little bit confused, but they went and they started, living and working among the people. And what they ended up doing was honestly exactly what they had been doing at home. He was an avid gardener. Like, he loved gardening. He had a big, huge garden at home. And so he started teaching people how to garden and how to grow things and all this stuff. And she was really big into family history. That was something that she loved and she did a lot of. And so she started helping the people where they were living. She started helping them compile their family histories. And they were able to just serve lots and lots of people, but they were just doing what they were already good at. They were owning their awesome, just in a different place. Okay, at home, we all knew that she was the go-to person for family history. We all knew that he was an amazing gardener, and that he had every summer, even though we lived at a high altitude and there was always a late frost and an early freeze, he always had an amazing garden. We all knew that. The people in Africa didn't know that until they stepped up and they started doing it there. So it doesn't have to be these big crazy things. You can be awesome in whatever you are awesome in. Maybe you make the absolute best chocolate brownies in the whole world. Maybe you are a painter and you paint pictures or you paint portraits or you draw pictures of people. There is also someone from my hometown who is an artist, and there's a Facebook page that is basically just all these people that have connections to my hometown, and he on a regular basis will do pencil drawings of people from town, and then he will post them on there, and it is really kind of cool. He's done several members of my family that have passed on, and it's just a really sweet thing. It's his owning that he's a good artist. He's not trying to take anything away from anybody else. He's just putting the good that he can do out into the world and allowing it to help other people. And that's the thing, is there's this idea that sometimes if we are trying to do good, that we're taking something away from somebody else. There's enough for everybody. There is. And you putting your gifts out into the world does not detract from anybody else's gifts. You owning your awesome doesn't take anything away from anybody else. So you need to stand up, my dear, and you need to own that awesome, because you are. You are awesome. Please, please hear me. You are awesome. And you've got so much to give and so much to help people with. But you got to stand up and you got to own it. So I know that you're probably also thinking maybe, well, how do I do that, Pawnee? How do I actually stand up and own my awesome? Because maybe I don't feel awesome. Or two, it just seems really big and seems like it's kind of hard. And maybe it is going to be a little bit hard. But I have put together a few things, just a little. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on all of them, but just a few little things. Pick one and start there. The first thing that I have about owning your awesome is I want you to start accepting compliments. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big thing, doesn't have to be awkward. Somebody gives you a compliment, simply say thank you and then move on. Don't try to talk it back. Don't try to tell them that they're wrong or prove to them that they're wrong. Just say thank you. Somebody says you look nice today, say thank you. That's all. I want you to start smiling at yourself. When you look in the mirror, smile. Smile at yourself. Be nice to yourself. Also, put together a power outfit. Have something that when you are feeling down, that maybe you can go to, an outfit that you can put on, something that makes you feel amazing. Whatever it is, be your awesome, crazy, funky self and dress however the heck you want and have that outfit that makes you feel like $1 million. Also, I want you to be honest about what you're good at. Like, really be honest, okay? If you are an amazing baker, own the fact that you are an amazing baker. If you are a fantastic artist, own it. Look at your skills and say, okay, what am I really good at? This, and this. I'm really actually very good at those things. Stop trying to be humble and put yourself down. Being humble is not putting yourself down. Okay, it helps nobody for you to diminish your gifts and what you can actually do. So be honest about what you're good at. Also, please stop comparing your worst day to somebody else's best. Please just stop comparing, period. But one of the biggest problems with comparing is that we compare our worst to somebody else's best. Well, if you do it that way, it's never going to be fair and you're never going to win. So don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people, and especially don't compare your worst day to their best day. It's not fair, and it also serves no purpose but to just rob you of the joy and the happiness that you could be feeling. The last thing that I wanted to say in terms of some tips about owning your awesome is that a bad day does not mean you're bad at something, or struggling does not mean that it's crap. So I've been working this last month on a book, and one of the things that I've been really working on is setting the habit of writing every single day. And I had last week a couple of really great writing days. Like, I sat down to write and it just seemed like it flowed and things were going really well. And then I hit a day where it just became hard. And I thought, okay, well, I wrote through that. And they tell you got to write through the crap, right? Not everything you write is going to be wonderful. Sometimes it's going to be terrible, but you got to write through the terrible to get to the good stuff. So I was like, okay, it's fine. It's just a day. It's just a bad day. And I did take a break over the weekend. Then the week started. Okay, last week started and it didn't get any easier. I would sit down to write and I would be writing, but I felt like I was just walking through cement. It was so hard and I was getting kind of discouraged. And after like about 3 or 4 days, about 3 or 4 days of this, it was like Thursday and all week had been just hard. And I was like, this maybe this isn't what I need to do. But I was looking, I had sat down to write and I hadn't had a ton of luck. I had written for a little bit and then I was looking for something that I had written previously. And so I was reading back through some of these other things that I had written and it was like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good. Like this is not bad. And I realized in that moment, like, yes, I can actually write. Today it's not happening, but it's not that I'm not good at it. It's not that it's not something I can do. It's just today is a hard day. And today I just can't write today, maybe. So just because you're having a bad day at something doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at it. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or anything like that. One human day does not mean that you're not awesome. Okay? And just because you have an off day doesn't mean that you are not awesome. Because you are. You are so awesome and you need to stand up and own it. So this week, what I want you to do, pick one of those things that I've mentioned and start really trying to implement it in your life so that you can stand up and own your awesome. You need to start saying, I'm awesome. I'm amazing. At the very least, you need to stop criticizing yourself and telling yourself that you're not. Because you are enough, my dear. You are amazing just the way that you are. And what makes you awesome, what makes it unique is that it's yours. Whatever your talent is, it's yours and it's amazing. And you have great, awesome things to contribute to the world. But you got to stand up and own those things first. So please stand up, own your awesome. Let me know how it's going on social media. I really want to know. I want to be there to support you and see how you are standing up to own your awesome. Because you are awesome, you are wonderful, you are amazing, and you are brave enough to own your own awesome. You are. You are worth the effort. I love you. I believe in you. Believe that you are brave enough to own your awesome. Have a fantastical day.
Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed what you've heard today, please leave a review down below and share this with anyone that you feel like could use a little more brave in their life. And if you'd like to follow more of my journey to be brave, you can follow me on social media and link down below. Have a fantastic day and don't forget to be brave.